What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I have Yulia. Yulia, Y-U-L-I-A. You know that name, YuliaMusic.com. You can go there right now. Go ahead. I'll wait. All right, YuliaMusic.com. She has a very interesting story, from childhood in Siberia all the way to the United States. And we're going to hear a little bit more about Yulia in the next few minutes. So stick around. I'm so excited. Yulia, pianist. Wow. This week's shows, I have one public show for you, my loyal listener. I have the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, my usual Friday night gig, the video dance party, karaoke jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. It's a little concert starring each and every one of you. Yes, you get to be the star, at least for a few minutes, while you sing your song at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, Friday night from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. They have full bar. They got a kitchen that's open. They got pool tables. They got 10 diamond-style pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday night. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, you get on out to the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Yeah, so exciting. So glad that I've been there. Oh my goodness, at least almost 20 years since it was the Conway Supper Club and it changed over to the Rab. I've been there on and off for almost 20 years. Amazing. To me, at least it's amazing to me. It feels good that they keep inviting me back, and I have a great time every time I go to the Rab on Friday nights. 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM is the time you get to sing with me on stage and dance and have some fun. Yeah, always a good time. All right, and then on Saturday, I think I have a wedding on Saturday, but unless you're invited, you cannot come. Why did I mention it? Because I'm so excited. I get to still do weddings and parties and corporate events, and I get to be the DJ that plays the music for you. Speaking of the music for you, let's get into it with Yulia. I might be playing some Yulia this weekend while we're chilling at some of our events. I got Yulia on the Zoom, so if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Zooming Yulia now. Oh, look at that. She's a pro. Wow, right on time and right in there. Got a little blurry background. What's up, Yulia?
Yes, I'm ready.
Well, hello, Yulia. Tell me a story.
Okay, so I'm just I'm here right after my lessons. I finished teach my students, and here I am.
Well, Yulia, you have a very interesting accent, and I know when I say you have an accent, I have an accent. Okay, it's a different sound that I'm hearing. Yulia, where are you from?
Originally from Russia and from Siberia.
Siberia.
Yes, I was dreaming to move on a warm climate where I don't have so much snow. We have in my city 8 months, sometimes 9 months of the snow. So I wanted to move some place where I will be much warmer here, like Texas.
Well, Yulia, the thing that I've heard about Siberia my whole life, every time I see Siberia in movies, every time I see the trope is always send him to Siberia. That's it. He's been a bad boy. Send him to Siberia because that's the worst place. Is it really that bad? I figured you can live anywhere. Siberia has to have some good parts, doesn't it?
Yes, you need just a warmer coat to live there. Of course you can.
Okay, but you said you found yourself in Texas now. What?
Yes.
Okay. How long did you live in Siberia before you ended up moving to Texas?
It was a long time ago. I moved 20, almost 25 years ago here in America,
All
but I
right.
still have my accent. Yes.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm from Florida and I'm living in Arkansas, so I should have a very country accent. But I don't know. I guess people are people. People speak certain ways. You can train yourself to speak a certain way. I've met a lot of people from Russia, and they can train themselves to lose the Russian accent. But I think it's cute on you. It works well for what you do. You're a pianist, a jazz pianist, but kind of with a rock attitude. I mean, what's that all about? First of all, you know what happened? I haven't even said hello. Hello, Yulia. Nice to meet you. My name's Dan. You can call me Dan. My mama calls me Dan. No, it's beautiful. It's nice to be finally talking to you. I got put in touch with you, and ever since then, I kind of while I'm doing my other work, my research for different projects that I've been doing, I put a little Yulia in the background. Turn the YouTube, turn the Spotify on, and I got some Yulia in the background playing that piano, but collaborating with a lot of different artists. Very jazzy, very easy to work to. It's the kind of music that it makes you feel so good. It calms you. It relaxes you. But then sometimes got a little pep to it. Beep beep. Oh, all right. All right. We're gonna have a little head bob. Yulia, you're doing it. Did you do this back in Siberia as well? Was there a very cold piano back then?
You're right. It was very cold piano. So I can start from your question. So I was a classically trained pianist. I was studying piano in specialized music school and academically trained. I never learned jazz there and didn't listen just a lot of jazz or rock music. But later, when Iron Curtain fell down, I could listen more Western music, rock, blues. I loved blues and jazz later. So I listened fusion, jazz rock also, so different genres. For me, it was like different world, open a different world. And I tried myself because I wrote music for commercials, and I loved that work because I could be write music for one commercial, orchestral music with orchestral instruments, and another commercial I can be a rock musician and write something in rock style, rock genre. Another jazz or tried myself in different genres.
Well, Yulia, now you've really touched on something very exciting to me. When you were making your statement, talking about your classically trained piano, you talked about the time when just a little after high school, back in the 80s, you lived before the Cold War and after the Cold War, but you're on the opposite side. You're from a different perspective. For us in the United States, we were so scared of the Russians, so scared of the USSR, so scared that the bombs were going to drop any minute. If we were in high school or if we were in school, they would teach us, oh my goodness, if a bomb drops, you have to hide under a desk. But I remember, and this is from the Western side of things, when Ronald Reagan said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. What was it like from your side of things, from the Siberian side of things, growing up, in the Cold War, probably being scared of the U.S., that we were going to drop bombs on you anytime? It could happen anytime. But Yulia, tell me your perspective before and after the Cold War ended.
Yes, I had the same experience, but from the other side. I remember I had the bad dreams as a like I see bomb fall not very far from my apartment building, and I see the like light and the mushroom and stuff like this, and it's like awful dreams for childhood for kids, right? And yeah, we people were scared also, and we lived kind of like hope that it's not happened, that the war has not happened.
Yeah.
The same situation with people here.
Did you have ways to prepare? Did you have bomb shelters? Did you have places? If it ever happens, you have to go to this place to hide from the missiles, from the bombs. Did you have any places like that, or were you in your apartment saying, "Well, I guess if it happens, it happens"?
Yes, exactly. So we had a 9 floors apartment, and I lived on the seventh floor. Nothing for to hide. Nothing.
Amazing. See, this podcast is to learn things. It's primarily a learning podcast. I want to learn from Yulia, your perspective. How did things shape your life to make you want to become the pianist that you are? The jazz, the jazzy rock. Okay. How would you describe yourself? Give the people an idea of who you are and what your perspective, well, music-wise is, and then we'll go on different avenues. We'll explore, but give the people an idea of who is a Yulia.
It's hard to say. I just was combined from different genres. As I said, I listened to a lot of different genres, and I liked something from each composer of music I listened, and what I liked is just grew in me, and somehow, of course, it has influence on me. So sometimes I don't understand myself who I am. It's hard to say, but I appreciate listeners, and very, very grateful that they listen my music and they like my music. It's very important for me that make them happy.
Well, before the Iron Curtain dropped, you were limited on the types of music that you can listen to. It was, I liken a lot of the experiences that I have to some of the movies that I've watched. There was a movie called Red Heat with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and for some reason, Arnold Schwarzenegger from Austria, he was playing a Russian, a Soviet policeman that came over to the United States to help a Chicago policeman solve a crime. I think there was drugs involved, and supposedly there was a lot of drugs in just like all over the world. But Russia had a problem with drugs back then as well, or at least we perceived that there was a drug problem back then. But I remember that Red Heat. He might have been in Siberia in the beginning of the movie, and they were going to a Turkish bath, and there was they were playing there was a guy on a piano playing a Russian or a like a folk song, and I remember that folk song, and it was so catchy. It was like a really peppy tune, but it would just it gave me a good feeling. Pianos and songs like that can give you a good feeling. But in the middle of this action movie, there was this piano song, and it really struck me. And it gave that, there's little glimpses into what Russian music is. Is that the only type of music that you had in the 80s before the fall? I guess the fall of the Iron Curtain was, what, 88, 89, if I'm remembering right?
86, 86, I think, artists, yeah.
86? 86?
Yeah, I think. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I remember that's
18.
when...
Yeah.
That's when Reagan's, and Gorbachev had their talks. I mean, but what do you? Okay, those are the people that I grew up with, at least politically. The leaders of the world was Gorbachev, and Reagan and
Yeah.
Margaret Thatcher. I think that was the big three.
Yes.
That how much did you hear about the people over here in that time?
Of course, we listened to radio and we listened to TV. We had just three programs on TV, and usually we had the same news on each program. So when it turned from one to another, same we had on the radio. So of course, just situation of what we had, we just we can think ourselves different realities can be possible or not, but everyone had the same story from TV or radio, right? Yes, and that was little different. Started be different from Gorbachev time. Of course, it's much more freedom. Everyone start to feel like they can be more open about their views and thoughts. Yes, it was interesting time.
Well, I remember the joke, from this side when the Russians, well, I guess, yeah, when the Soviets, when the USSR became Russia and started to split apart and became more open to Western trade, the joke was always, oh, we now have American blue jeans. That oh wow, okay, you got the blue jeans, and the music was going over there. But previous to that, you said you had three TV stations to watch. Well, we had the same thing when I was growing up in the 70s. We had three, ABC, CBS, NBC. We had three different stations to watch. And if you were watching news on one of them, the other one would have a comedy program, and the other one maybe would have a TV drama, so to speak. But, what were you watching as a little girl? Were you able to, was it always the news, or was there television programs? Was there stuff that was made for kids and children and adults? And what kind of television programs were available in the USSR?
I watched news. I've watched also cartoons for kids. I watched kids movies. And that time we had nice movies for, like, now we can call it family movies, but kids can watch it. We didn't have something that we cannot watch, right? So it was a nice time when you can anytime turn TV and it was a good movie. Yeah, but I was busy. I didn't watch a lot. I was in my school and busy with assignments after school. I had to practice 4 hours every day. Only piano, then make also any other assignments like solfeggio or literature or geography.
Wow! So you were practicing your craft from a young age. When did you start playing piano? When did the first piano come into your life?
5 years old. I was 5 years old when I just started to learn notes and started to learn how to play.
Okay. Well, what were the basic people? Oh, and I say basic. I mean, there's so much good music that came out of that region. I guess, were you playing Rachmaninoff and some of the classics? Who were your favorites playing as you were growing up?
I loved to play Chopin. It was one of my favorite. Tchaikovsky, some Rachmaninoff music, and Mozart. I liked it. It's different, and Bach. All of them they had a different styles, but I liked the deepness of Bach and playful mood, and also some a positive mood, and Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and Chopin more like I would say more emotional.
Well, throughout your childhood, are you playing? Okay, while you're learning how to play the piano, are you playing with other people? Do you ever offer concerts? Did you get up in front of your other classmates and in front of your the people in your community? Or did you do concerts with other people when you were growing up?
Yes, we had to have concerts in my school, specialized music school, so we always had some exams or concerts. And yes, and we had even later start to work on my music, and we participated on a radio and TV. Sometimes, not often, but I had experience on it.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
later in conservatory, yes, we had the concerts.
Well, fantastic. Okay, now what? Okay, after the fall of the Iron Curtain and everything started to open up, and what new experiences? How did you end up getting more music? Was it radio? Was it buying albums? How did you get more experiences? And were you able to watch different types of programs? First of all, what was your favorite television program? Your favorite cartoon? Because I do appreciate that now there's so many streaming services and so many ways to watch different types of programming. Every once in a while, I get down a rabbit hole and I spend a day watching movies that are dubbed in English from other countries, and some of those come from from before the Iron Curtain dropped, before the Cold War ended. Some of them are dubbed into English, and it's interesting the type of movies, the type of media that you were watching. But tell me, you said you watched cartoons and movies. What was your favorite cartoon growing up?
It's like we had a program that starts 8 o'clock for kids when I was in a younger age, my childhood. So we like to watch it. That's usually they had some conversations with stuffed animals, and then they show cartoon, and every day it was a different cartoon, so it was fun to watch.
All right. Well, we had Muppets. We had the Muppet Show that would have a variety, and a lot of times they would have special guests, maybe the stars of the day. So maybe you'd had some popular people that would show up from the Soviet Union. Anyone?
I didn't see any shows for Muppet Show. It's probably we had somewhere, but just didn't have a chance. I attended more often opera theater
Okay.
than in other places.
All right. Well, I mean, you said you were a good student. You said you had to study hard. Were you? Did you excel in any other academics? Were you a good in math and your studies, your science?
Wasn't good in math. No, wasn't. But I don't know. I learned was not bad student. I did my best in everything, but I tell you, math wasn't my strong.
Well, I've heard my whole life that that music is very mathematical. If you know music, you can translate it into math. Is that a lie? Have I been lied to my whole life?
This is probably my thing that I try to avoid calculations and try to use my heart for it.
All right. Okay.
My emotions.
You're playing with heart, Yulia. You're playing with your soul. Okay. Now, growing up, you finally got out of school. You got the piano, and I've noticed that on some of the pictures you have a Yamaha piano. I use Yamaha mixers whenever I'm doing DJ stuff. I do appreciate their products, and I've used their speakers in the past. Is Yamaha your tool of the trade? Is that what you like, or do you use any piano in front of you is fine?
I love any pianos, but Yamaha, I use it. Keyboard, they I think that they very best in the market. How they I'm sorry. They have a just beautiful sound of piano.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to do, Yulia, is get you a sponsorship from Yamaha. See if we can send you a bunch of free pianos and some free stuff from Yamaha. Hey, Yamaha, go sponsor Yulia. She's playing on your instruments, on your stuff. See?
Yeah, not only play, but I also teach my students.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I recommend that instrument too to them.
See, now we're getting ahead. We're fast forwarding to the now. We found out about the little girl, Yulia, but the now is now that you're a professional pianist, now that you're world renowned, Yulia, the pianist, the composer. Now you're teaching the next generation. Okay, but I need to go back. You said 25 years ago, so somewhere around 2000, you decided.
Yes, 2000.
You decided to give up all there is in Russia and move to Texas. What made you want to do that?
It's because as I worked for commercials, I wanted to grow more in my career, and my idea to move from Novosibirsk, Siberia, to some bigger place. Sorry, I lose the video. I'm sorry, I don't see you.
Okay.
See now. So I was thinking to move Moscow first. And it was happened that my ex-husband, he got his job. He was invited to Texas, and I was thinking, it's great opportunity to see different country, America, especially America. It was so hard to go there before, and now it's like opportunity to be there, to see people, meet people, and also America is a country where a lot of music I like a lot of jazz, blues, and I always listened, and just it's a place where I can listen more and learn more, and maybe participate on some events, or find people who play this music.
Well, Yulia, the goal for most people when they learn a skill such as piano is to try to make a living off of it, try to make some money off of it. When you were in North Siberia, was there any opportunity to tour, to make money, to be a studio musician? What was the making a living opportunity in North Siberia, and how did that change when you moved to Moscow?
So I did move to Moscow. I decided to give up on Moscow and move straight to Texas.
Oh, so you did not go to Moscow at all?
No,
okay, so what were the opportunities that you had in Siberia, and how did they change when you went to Texas? Were you able to make a living at all? Was anybody hiring pianists in Siberia?
I worked as a composer for commercials. That's what I made living from it, and also I had a few students, not many. Most of my living was from composing music and recording music.
So was there a living made when you were composing music for commercials? Was that something that was able to pay your rent and teaching the students as well?
Yes.
And how did that change when you moved to Texas? And what part of Texas are you in? Because Texas is huge, and East Texas is different from West Texas, different from the middle of Texas. Where are you at in Texas?
I live in Dallas. It's central.
Okay, the big town.
And I don't work as a composer for commercials. I try to go into this circle. When I just in the beginning, when I came here, I didn't know English at all. That was my a big problem here. But it was hard for me to find a way to write music for commercials. Then I just was busy with kids. I had the kids, and later, when I had the legal status to work, I just start to teach.
Well, the thing I learned my whole life is music is the universal language. Even once again, watching movies, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, when they were trying to speak to aliens that came down to the planet Earth, they spoke in music. Boop 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 boop. Oh, okay, that must mean something to someone because the aliens were able to understand music. So maybe you didn't understand English or you didn't know English, but you had music, the universal language, in your pocket. I mean, how did you weren't able to immediately go into commercial making music for commercials, but how did you sustain yourself 25 years ago in 2000? You're learning English. How did you learn English, and what did you develop musically?
I learned English by watching TV, and you cannot believe I was watching Matlock.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Okay.
It's not easy. It's not easy movie to learn English, but I was very excited to see what happened, and just it helped me to stay and listen and trying to understand what is happening. So that's how I learned English. Also, our friends helped a lot. Friends from church, they helped us to go church. We didn't have a car, so they helped us on Sundays, and they talk, and I listened and started to talk a little by little. So that's how I learned English. I still need to work on it.
Well, I think you're doing just fine. Your English is so much better than my Russian. All I know is what, Nasvatanya? That's it? That's all you know? After all these years of watching these movies, being fascinated by The Hunt for Red October and Red Heat, and movies that gave you like little glimpses, our fears, and they played on the different ideas that we had about each other before the Iron Curtain fell, and then we figured out, oh, we're all just people trying to survive, trying to thrive in this world. We're not so different. The people all over the world, we're not so different. We're all trying to get the same things. But you got here to the United States. You learned English. You found a foothold. Okay, after you learned English from Matlock. That's a great place to learn English, let me tell you. Television will teach you different kinds of English. You could have been you could have learned from somebody who was so pop culture, and you could have been talking a different kind of way, like totally for sure. And that could have been the conversation that we were having. But no, you learned from a reputable place, Matlock, a fine place to learn English, to get your ideas of what American English is.
With Alabama accent.
No, I appreciate that you learned from the people at church. That's great. Reading the Bible is a way that people have learned for a couple of thousands of years at least. Reading. The people. Supposedly, people in church that read will not lose their minds as quickly as people that don't read. Your faculties stay ahead of the game if you read. And what better book than the most popular book in the world, the Bible. But I want to talk about, if I go to your website, and I have been to your website, yuliamusic.com, the first thing that I see is Isaiah 40:31 out of the NKV. For maybe do you remember what that is, or should I read that for you?
Yes, you can please read. You have a better English.
Yeah. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. What does that mean to you?
It means for me that I need to stick to God. I need to trust Him, and if I trust God, He always for me. He knows what is best for me. So it's just best I can do is trust Him.
Is that something that was instilled on you as a little girl in Siberia? Was there that type of structure, or was that something that you learned recently?
No, I didn't read Bible until I had until my 24 years old, probably.
Till you were 24 years old. So probably what, last week? You're only what, 25 now, right?
Thank you. But no, I tried to read Bible. When I was like 16 years old, but we didn't have it in a store, so couldn't have it. My teacher of composition, he gave us Bible for like a few days to read. His idea was to write music from some certain passages, read them and write music. But it was a kind of old language. I didn't understand very well. I kind of understand in generally, but I couldn't understand it fully. And it was my first introduction, and then I read later, but most like start to read every day, I was 24 years old.
Yeah, you're not alone, Yulia. Nobody understands Old English. I don't even think the Old English know Old English. It has to be translated. It has to be refined. It has to be brought into a more modern speak. And I'm sure hundreds of years from now, the English that we're speaking right now, the language that we're speaking right now, will be totally foreign to people hundreds of years from now. But tell me, how did reading the Bible, how did studying scriptures and putting your faith in God, how did that change the way that you wrote music, or did it affect your life at all?
Of course, it affected my life, and music is part of my life. When I wrote "Keep the Faith," it also was inspired by my prayers and my thoughts about God, and best wishes or perfect love. God is love, and perfect love. He can have perfect love. And we have to learn how to love perfectly better, be better persons, be closer to God. So I like when I write music, I think about something like pray, and music just came out of my heart, my thoughts. God inspired me through the Bible, through my prayers and thoughts. Sometimes I'm just thinking about the world, what is happening, and try to think about it through the Bible lens, not just because it's encouraging when I think about through the Bible. I can understand and I can say why it's happening and what God wants God wants from this situation, right? Like how we have to act and how we have to feel about it. So it gives me a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, and my music, it's just a reflection of it.
Well, instrumentals fascinate me anyway, because especially the names of instrumentals, why did you name something it's so easy for a lyricist, and I say easy, I've never written a song, much less several songs, but it's so easy for a lyricist to write some words, and some of the words in that song become the title of that song. But as a composer of music that is instrumental only, no lyrics, you have a song and you call it, maybe Isaiah 40:31, or you call it whatever songs you have, you call them a certain thing. What inspires you to name a song one thing or another? Is it a thought that you had while you were writing the song? How did you write a song called Two Rivers, or something, sign of love? Why would you name it that as opposed to something else? Is this thoughts in your head as you're composing the music?
Yes, Two Rivers, for example, it was a song about two lives, two people who met and continue their lives together. Rivers can be like one river can be. They are both different characters, of course. They have even different names, different stories, and everything is different. When you start to think about it, you can picture, like, image how it can happen, and then you can think about people. Also different people, different stories, different background and culture even, right? So they can meet in some point of life, and they can be together, for example, right? So this was they helped me to write this music.
See, how do you do that with instrumentals only, without the lyrics, without the ability to tell a story using your words? You're telling a story using the music. One person has these notes, and the other person has these notes, and then when they come together, they form these notes together. Is that the story? Or as you're writing these things, you're thinking about these people and these experiences that they're having, and you're trying to translate that into music? It's fascinating to me. How do you do this thing? It's like a magic trick.
Thank you. I think it's not. I think it's definitely God gave me talent of it, and I just use it. I like artists who write, who paint pictures, draw pictures. He can also make some accents on it, make some subject more. I mean, some object more pale, some more bright. Right. So it's the same in the music. I can use different palitras and more mellow, or make some accents or brighter, or can express in a melody or in a rhythm.
Fascinating. I would enjoy having you as a teacher, and I'm sure your students benefit very well from the experiences that you've had. You've been doing this since you were 5 years old, which is only, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, something like that. You've been doing this a while? No, I kid. We've had experiences. We've had shared experiences, and we've had experiences from opposite sides of a Cold War. That for the young people, I hope that they study the past and they learn that we can all get along together, because we all want pretty much the same things, and music becomes a universal language. You said you started off making music for commercials and teaching students as well, and then when you got here to the United States, to Dallas, Texas, in the United States, you learned English from Matlock, and then you started learning from church as well, and reading the Bible. But here in the States, you're also teaching students, which is great. We're supposed to learn something and then teach the next generation. But what else sustains you? I noticed that you're making music. Is it all studio music, or do you go out and take this on the road? Do you take your Yamaha out to different places and play for people?
I teach music at my place. Have a studio at home. My students comes to me, and the students, I have also program. I give them opportunity to perform. Of course, it's very motivating, and they need it. They need this experience and inspiration. So they perform 4 or 5 times during school year, and one time in summer.
Do you have a place in Dallas that you go perform at, or is it typically at their schools?
Sometimes I don't perform much, but I hope I can perform more often. Sometimes I perform, but it's not like every week, or it's not regular so far.
Well, Yulia, what are you open to? I see that you do a lot of collaborations. You have had some other jazz musicians, like some saxophones, and you're open to collaborations. When you make this music, is it at a certain studio, or are you making this music at your own home?
I record here in my studio, and I work online with producers. So most of my music I did with Liu Ling Jr. That's what we did last collaboration at the 4031 with him. He's an amazing composer also. And I just do most of my work online.
That is fantastic. You're using the internet for good.
Yes.
Have you met any of these musicians that you work with in person, or is it all on the phone or online? Have you met any of these people?
I met a few people, but not all, unfortunately. I wish I can meet all of them.
That's amazing to me that you're using this tool that we have, the internet. People, there's always going to be people that are Luddites, that are scared of technology, scared of moving forward. The internet comes out. Oh, that's going to destroy the world. The AI comes out. Artificial intelligence comes out. Oh, that's going to destroy the world. Artificial intelligence is composing music. They're making piano music. You tell it, hey, make me a song. Make me a song that's about two different people that go and buy lollipops and go waltzing to a river. And you tell AI to write that, compose it, and it's going to come back with something. I mean, what do you think about technology as it grows now that you're using the internet to help you compose music and collaborate with others? Do you think AI is the future of music or of any media, or is it good? Is it bad? What do you feel about it?
I think everything can be used for good and for bad, and AI too. For some people, it's gonna be like solution for something, but for other people, it's not acceptable, right? But for me, I'm lucky. I'm blessed to have my faith, because I know what I do is, even it's not. People maybe will not listen. I don't know what happened with AI in the future, but I do it. It was like a God calls, right, for me. So if I have this call, I will do it anyway, and I'm not afraid about the AI.
Yeah, I use AI to help me write some things. If I need to ask it a question about a certain subject that I don't know about, I've been to college, I've been to school a bunch of times, but if I want something quick, I look at my phone. If I don't know the answer to a question, I ask a question of my phone or a Google or search engine of some kind. And I guess that's one way that AI has helped to keep us informed about certain things. I ask AI about the news, but having it write music, it takes the soul out of it. But I guess as it improves, as the technology improves, it might get better and better, and a little harder to discern whether Yulia wrote this or AI wrote this. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be able to notice the difference after time? If it's it can be daunting. It can be scary. I want Yulia to succeed. I want you to succeed as a pianist, as a composer, and I want you to write from your heart and from your soul and from the the God-fearing spirit that you have. That is going to give you a certain perspective when you write your music. And when I'm listening to your music, I want to feel that. So if a robot writes it, Is it going to have the same soul? I don't know. I don't think so.
We will see. We will maybe see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you, as we wind this thing down, what are you open to in the future? Are you looking to be a piano teacher? Okay, that seems to be a through line from your whole life. As you got better at piano, you're an instructor, which is great. But what else are you open to? You want to keep on collaborating with people online? Do you want them to find you at yuliamusic.com and ask you to collaborate? How do you want them? What do you want to see from Yulia, the musician? And are you possibly going to have anything that's got a lyricist? Will you write a song for someone who wants to sing for you?
Excuse me, it was like frozen little few seconds.
Okay.
But I think I understand your question. What I would like to have, I would like to continue write music because I have it in my heart, and while I have it, I will write it. I will collaborate with people and just release this music for people because I love to give share with everything I have with them, and especially happy when they listen and they like it. So for me, it's the best award I can have. And maybe I'm gonna play more often, as I said earlier. If I have a more opportunity, I would love to use it. And yeah, I continue teach, but I'll see what is gonna be more for me later. Even if I will write music more and perform, or I will write music and teach as I do now. So we'll see.
Yeah, I could see that as being viable in your career, is to write music for movies and television and various medias. If you're open to that, writing music for music scores for different projects. There's a lot of independent artists that need music that can't afford some of the music that's already out there, the licensing and what have you. But if they had a Yulia that was able to write a song for them, that would help, to give life to their movie, to their television show, to their commercial. It might be a step back for you to write music for commercials again, but that's a way to make a living doing this music. But this is great. Who's helping you? Well, it's nice to have that you have the studio in your own home. That is a very convenient and very great. And I'm glad that you took the time to build that. It makes it easier on someone if they say, "Hey, Yulia, I need you to compose something for me and record it." You have a space that you're able to do that rather quickly. You could turn that project around, in a day or two or a couple of days, and that makes it convenient. So when they're working with Yulia, they know, hey, if I need this recorded, it can be done rather quickly. That's awesome. That's amazing. But who's helping you to put this music together and make the videos? I noticed that you've been using YouTube for the last at least 3 years or 4 years, trying to put yourself out there. Who's helping you to make those videos, and who's helping you to put the music together in a certain kind of way?
So I worked, as I said, from the beginning with producers, with musicians. We record everything, and I distributed through the CD Baby. Before I met Big Records company, and then Big Records helped me to distribute last my release through the Universal. So this is very big step, and I'm very grateful to Big Records for it. And videos, I had some specific companies I worked with video for videos, and also right now I'm working with Big Records contact who are working on my video for Isaiah 4031. So hopefully listeners can see this video soon. And this is how it's going. Next release is gonna be soon too. Next release in July 11th. And I'm excited to continue record new music.
Well, Yulia, I'm grateful to Big Records for putting us together as well. They seem to be a very nice team that is helping to promote artists that are on a certain level to get them to the next level. And I want to see you get to that next level and even beyond, and do all the things that you want to do musically. That's fantastic. All right, Yulia, let's close this thing down. My goodness, we've been talking for a while. We learned a little bit. We scratched the surface on who Yulia is, where you came from and where you are now and where you want to go in the future. But I want you to come back on this program anytime you have something to promote. If you have a new release that's like the one that's coming out pretty soon, I want people to go to yuliamusic.com and make sure that they stay tuned and find out more, and then follow you on all your socials. I found that website was built very well because all your social media, all your different contacts is right there on the top. And it's beautiful that we could find Yulia, we could follow Yulia and help to promote you and and make sure that you like and share and follow, that kind of thing. All right, I'm talking, of course, to my listener. But Yulia, like I said, I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. If you have other things to talk about in the future, you come back anytime. And I appreciate that you're here in the United States, in America, following your dreams, doing your thing. You had an experience from Russia that's like no other, okay, that you have those perspectives and you bring that and you put that into your music. But I always finish these things off with, do you have any other avenues that you want to explore? Anything else you want to tell the people before we shut this thing down?
I just want to tell listeners that I very appreciate their attention to my music, and happy if they can support me, they can follow me on different social media platforms, Spotify and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. So this is important for me. This is for any artist. And I just wanna say to every listener, wish the best wishes to them, and just wanna say blessings.
Okay. I always finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by. This could be something you learned from Matlock. This could be the first English thing that you learned. This could be something you heard a long time ago, or maybe a mantra that you wake up with every morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Yulia, pianist, composer, I want you to give the last words for the people.
As I just said, that I want to say best wishes to everyone, and very grateful for all support. And just don't give up on your dreams. Continue work on them and follow your dreams. And just have a faith.
Well, there you have it, party people. The talented Miss Yulia. She's been doing this a long time. My goodness, from 5 years old in Siberia, learning how to play music, to teaching music, to playing music for commercials, and then making her way all the way to Dallas, Texas, in the USA, of all places. Oh my goodness. Still making her way, still making music, still teaching students. Yulia, you're amazing. And, not having lyrics to fall back on, to tell the story. You tell the story musically. You tell the story without lyrics. It's I don't know. Is it easier to tell a story if you have words to let people know exactly what the music is about? I think so. I think so. So you're setting yourself up for it's a harder time, but you make the most beautiful music, and it tells a story as well. Amazing. Amazing. Make sure you go to yuliamusic.com, and then all the links to her socials are right there on top. Thank you so much, Yulia, for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast. I look forward to hearing more and seeing more and learning more as time progresses. All right, that's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, yes, you, my loyal listener, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.